People always ask, who's the best attacker? Who's the best for solo queue? What's the best operator to play? Well, today I'm gonna not answer those questions and instead flip them around and ask who the worst operator is. I asked this question on my TikTok and came to the conclusion that my Rainbow Six community thinks that Blackbeard is the worst attacker. Now, if you disagree, I wouldn't be surprised because this dude is a Maldo making machine, a key component in any competitive setting. If you don't know what a Maldo is, let me teach you something real quick. Have you ever been so furious at a video game that your hair starts falling out, aka you start balding? Well, when you're so mad that you start to bald, we call this malding, and those who mald are those who are granted the name of Maldo. Blackbeard is a key component in the cycle of mald, meaning he is the peak of the pyramid, where it all begins. When you come around a corner to put 2 bullets into a dude's face just to break a bulletproof shield and then die, you question yourself. You question a lot of things, and this could lead to being a little upsetty spaghetti. And that's just one reason why Blackbeard is an amazing operator. He's one of the few operators with the power to single-handedly tilt opponents into their own downfall. Not only that, but there's just something so funny about watching the internal struggle of someone absolutely going through it after being disassembled by the worst operator in the game. Before I start making this video, I put myself up to the challenge of playing Blackbeard in ranked non-stop in order to learn the most about him that I could while getting some nasty clips in the process.
Fuck you.
Pushing up Skybridge, crouched, shot the drone. He's by the hatch. Good job.
There's no way
Thanks,
like I
guys.
flanked Skybridge there. Like what?
There were some moments where my boy BB did me dirty, but I learned from those moments and became a better Blackbeard because of it. In reality, that's all I'm looking to do. Take the experiences as learning and grow as much as I can from it in order to become a better player. But also, I was looking to hurt people's feelings in a completely non-violent and fair way. Reflecting on what I learned, it wasn't much, but it was enough for me to explain the practical uses for Blackbeard and the misleading approach that most players take with him. When Blackbeard was released Year 1 Season 3, he had one shield that had 800 HP. Whoever was lounging back at Ubisoft making these decisions was completely off their rocker making ops like this. Anyway, BB was at his best, posted up on a window with his face in it, practically invincible. As of the current patch, he has 2 shields which only have 20 HP each, making him literally 20 times weaker than he was on his release. Something ain't right when you gotta nerf someone literally 4 times in order to make them balance. His shield went from 800 HP to 150 HP to 60 HP to 50 HP, and here we are at 20 HP. The problem, however, is that players are still in this habit of using Blackbeard in the same manner he was used in Year 1 Season 3, leading to a lot of window play only to be punished by defenders swinging on their 50 ping internet and leaving no time to react before you're already dead. Newsflash for you, BB is no longer good sitting on a window holding angles. It's a fight that's too easy to lose. My theory, which is absolutely genius and revolutionary and cool and smart and 500 IQ and probably makes me have a huge PP, we'll never know, is that Blackbeard is best situated in an entry style role where he's in the building taking fights early in the round and swinging onto people with the bonus perk of taking an extra hit or 2 to the face. This just makes his fights much more favorable, and his speed isn't nerfed very much by the shield anymore. There's a lot of situations where roamers or defenders in general are just not prepared for a Blackbeard swinging around the corner. Like when their beautifully lined up one-shot headshot pixel angle they were holding turns against them as a Blackbeard with a shield on his face enters the picture. It's complete and utter disappointment knowing you would have gotten the kill if it were literally any other operator peeking you. So I guess he's good in that sense. Another great part about having the shield is that it gives you the confidence to take aggressive fights that you wouldn't normally have the leisure of taking. You can get away with some risky face checks or aggressive pushes with the extra time to react, even if the defender has the jump on you. If you've got quick reflexes and good aim, take those fights and let your nuts hang. Metaphorically, you don't need your nuts out to do that. By selecting BB, you're committing yourself to the Call of Duty style and just playing to kill people. Leave the utility worries to your team and try to kill as many people as you can to help the process and maybe win some rounds. Don't understand the game, utility, teamwork, and don't really want to make an effort to? Buy BB and walk around the map pointing and clicking. Does this make you good at the game? Absolutely not. Could it maybe help in lower ranks? Potentially. Am I going to promise anything? Hell no. Blackbeard's secondary utility also isn't awful, as you have the option between breach charges and flashbangs. Flashbangs are kinda nasty now since the latest update, so technically BB was buffed indirectly. Flashbangs can be hard to use to actually make any plays since he's pretty slow with his shield equipped, so I found that using them while coordinating with your team on a push was usually the best option. Breach charges are also still a great option for things like hatches and vertical pressure if you need to. Now my little YouTube men, it's time for Honesty Hour. How often in ranked do you reflect back on a lost round and think, man, if only we had one extra explosive to clear that shield. If that were the case, we would have won that round. after your entire team expended their utility to clear as much as they could and still came up short? Probably never, and if that's the case for you, then you've already proved my point. In 99% of Rainbow Six ranked games, the meta is to throw a couple grenades, open a couple walls, and kill the other team before they kill you. Heck, half the time, teams don't even bring hard breachers and diamond level elo. I'm pretty sure most of the player base doesn't understand that even at the highest ranks in this game, people are still garbage at the game and don't understand it very well. The argument that BB's utility isn't good is a bad argument in my opinion, because in practically every ranked game, it doesn't come down to utility, it comes down to killing everyone on the other team, and that is an area in which BB excels in. Now, I believe using utility is good. You can use utility to gain control and use the control to gain kills, but most of the time you can gain the exact same control by droning and pushing onto defenders with the help of a flashbang or two. Another reason I dislike the argument that BB is a bad pick because of his lack of utility is the fact that you can straight up avoid the defender's utility on most maps. Like bruh, just go somewhere else. Canal top floor and no shield on Skybridge? Hop in the window and kill anyone rotating through sight. Using drones to find easy routes into the map is a simple way to play Blackbeard, taking control that the defenders give and keeping it to yourself with the added help of a couple face masks. Personally, I think that's the best way to view BB if you want to play him. Seeing him as a regular operator who's already expended their utility, but then having a bonus set of perks strictly made for helping him stay alive and getting kills. This dude is basically a COD Zombies character pounding back juggernauts first thing in the morning. The shield gives him that slight time advantage in fights, forcing defenders to get multiple headshots while you only have to land one. The real way to hit home with BB though is getting your bestest bud and sticking him on Maverick. This is the strongest and most practical way to maximize Blackbeard's effect on a round. Go next to a reinforced wall from the rappel or on the ground and have him blowtorch a line in the wall for you to look through. This sneaky trick catches so many people off guard it's absurd, and if by chance they're watching it already, landing multiple shots to the head through this small line of sight is no easy task. If you get smoked off of this, you probably just need to do some serious self-reflection and think about why you suck so much. I've had to do this a few times. Make sure you're backed up off the mav holes a couple feet, as stuffing your entire face in it will be much easier target to hit for defenders on the other side. This play works so well, and the added safety of the shield is super strong. The amount of satisfaction and delight this play brings is extraordinary, and is definitely worth trying out yourself. Unless you hate fun, then I completely understand why you wouldn't. That being said, you will probably get some not so nice words from the other team afterwards. Continuing on the trend of not so nice words, you could also combo up Blackbeard with his enraging counterpart Blitz. Having a Blitz come around a corner with a Blackbeard stacked behind him is the ultimate form of disrespect to the other team, and nobody likes being fully blinded by a shield you can't kill while trying to headshot an operator with a face shield attached to his gun. Picture a transport truck driving straight at you. Your only defense against it is an MP7 submachine gun. Now pretend it's night and the truck's high beams are on. Okay, great. Now give it bulletproof glass and try not to die. That's what this feels like from a defender's perspective. It's fucking awful. I feel dirty just writing these things, and at the thought that I could potentially be the inspiration for people to go out and actually do this. Honestly, this play isn't even really that strong, but when it works, it's instant rage from the guy you just dismantled, which I think is kind of hilarious. I'd recommend this as like a fun strategy to play with in casual matches, but wouldn't advocate for it in a ranked match unless your rank is really low. And if that's the case, you should probably just take the time to understand the maps and hit the training grounds to work on your aim. I now come to the age-old question, and by age-old I mean I've discussed it with a couple of my friends who disagree with me. Blackbeard's Mark 17 assault rifle or his SR-25 marksman rifle? Let me know what you think is better in the comments, because I genuinely think that there is only one right answer. Okay. Obviously, his marksman rifle is the right choice, and here's why. Firstly, this gun hits with so much force it would impress Sir Isaac Newton, the guy that literally made up the concept of force. Getting blasted by 7.62 bullets is not a fun situation to be in, especially when you can do it at a rate of fire faster than his fully automatic Mark 17. Not only that, but you can put any scope on the SR, making it variable to any one of your preferences, while the AR only has a maximum 1.5 sight. Absolutely pathetic. 1.5? 1.5? Buddy, I'm busting out the 3x, dude. I'm busting out the 2.5. I'm busting out the 1. I can match that even. I can bust out the 2x. I can bust out the 2.5, the 3. Whatever I want, dude. Not to mention, the recoil on that bad boy looks like a spaceship halfway through takeoff. That bitch is heading straight to the moon. So overall, there's really no downside to running the DMR, unless you're just mechanically inferior and have the trigger finger of a 5-year-old. In that case, you should probably stray away from any semi-automatic weapon until you take off your feces-filled diaper and put on your big boy shorts. With that, I'll wrap up the video. I hope you've enjoyed the content and maybe learned a thing or two. I've saved this information for the real loyal people who stayed all the way to the end, but don't run Blackbeard. He's completely garbage, and in all honesty, you're much better off just picking another operator and being more useful to your team. Not only that, but you'll learn a whole lot more about the game by running other operators and become a better R6 player because of it. Thank you for your easy watch time and have a fantastic day.
Wait.
Get off of
Wait,
me!
what is this sound?
Developers on Twitter. Developers on Twitter.
Good shit, Pucks.
That's TikTok Fox right there. Oh, let's go.